Imagine waking up to a silent phone. The usual buzzes and beeps that signal the start of a new day are absent. No emails, no news alerts. The notifications that usually flood your screen are nowhere to be found. You turn on the television, static. Channels that once brought the world into your living room now show nothing but white noise. The internet, the lifeblood of our modern world, has vanished. Websites fail to load, and social media is eerily silent. At first, it might seem like a strange dream, a surreal experience that you hope will end when you fully wake up. People would reach for their phones instinctively, only to be met with blank screens. The devices that once connected us to the world now serve as mere paperweights. Confusion would reign as the familiar tools we rely on daily become useless. The apps, the messages, the constant stream of information, all gone. The initial hours would be marked by a sense of isolation. People would feel cut off not just from the internet but from each other. The invisible threads connecting us across continents would be severed. The global village would suddenly feel like a series of isolated hamlets. The internet's disappearance wouldn't just affect our smartphones and computers. Its tendrils reach far deeper into our lives, underpinning systems we often take for granted. Navigation systems would go dark, leaving drivers lost and disoriented. Traffic lights, reliant on internet-connected systems, might fail, leading to chaos on the roads. Hospitals, heavily reliant on digital record-keeping and communication, would face immense challenges. Patient care would be compromised as medical professionals struggle to access vital information. The interconnected web of technology that we rely on would unravel, exposing our vulnerability and highlighting the fragility of our digital dependencies. The global economy, intricately woven with the threads of the internet, would experience a seismic shock. Online transactions would cease, grinding commerce to a halt. Banks, reliant on real-time data transfer, would struggle to operate. ATMs would become useless, leaving people without access to cash. Financial markets would plunge into chaos as trading platforms go dark. The intricate system of credit and debit cards dependent on instant verification would collapse. Businesses would be forced to rely on cash transactions, a system ill-equipped to handle the scale of modern commerce. With the internet gone, the delicate balance of supply chains that keep our supermarkets stocked would crumble. Trucks reliant on GPS navigation and digital communication would be stranded. Supermarkets accustomed to just-in-time inventory management would face shortages. Essential goods from food and water to medicine would become scarce. Panic buying would ensue, exacerbating the shortages and leading to social unrest. The fragility of our interconnected world would be exposed as we confront the challenges of a world without the internet's logistical backbone. Section 5. A Tower of Babel Global Communication Blackout. The internet's disappearance wouldn't just isolate individuals, it would sever communication links between nations. Diplomatic channels, reliant on instant communication, would fall silent. Misunderstandings and misinterpretations, amplified by the lack of clear communication, could escalate tensions. The potential for conflict, fueled by fear and uncertainty, would increase. The world would shrink, not in the sense of a global village connected by technology, but in the sense of a world where communication is once again limited by geography and time. Section 6. Powerless and in the dark. The grid's uncertain fate. The internet plays a critical role in managing power grids, ensuring a steady flow of electricity to our homes and businesses. Its disappearance could have dire consequences. Smart grids, reliant on real-time data to balance supply and demand, could malfunction. Power outages, potentially on a massive scale, would disrupt daily life and cripple essential services. Hospitals, reliant on a constant power supply, would face life-threatening situations. Communication networks, already disrupted, would be further hampered, making coordination and recovery efforts difficult. Section 7. From global village to local tribes, the rise of communities. In the absence of the internet's global reach, communities would become more insular. We would be forced to rely on those around us for support, information, and connection. Local networks would re-emerge as the primary means of communication and collaboration. Neighborhoods would become more tight-knit as people rely on each other for essential goods and services. This shift towards localism could foster a sense of community and shared responsibility. It would be a stark contrast to the often isolating nature of online interactions. Section 8. Rediscovering the written word knowledge in physical form. With the internet gone, our access to information would be drastically altered. Imagine a world where the vast digital libraries we take for granted vanish overnight. No more instant Google searches or Wikipedia rabbit holes. The convenience of having answers at our fingertips would be replaced by a more tactile and deliberate quest for knowledge. Libraries would regain their importance as repositories of knowledge, becoming bustling centers of activity once more. Books, magazines, and newspapers would become our primary sources of information and entertainment. The slow, deliberate process of reading would replace the instant gratification of online content. This shift could lead to a more thoughtful and nuanced understanding of the world around us. In this new era, the physical form of knowledge would not just be a necessity, but a cherished aspect of our existence. Section 9. The value of human connection, a world without screens. The absence of the internet could lead to a resurgence of face-to-face interaction. Without the constant distraction of notifications and updates, we would be more present in our conversations. Family dinners might once again become a time for connection, not a competition for attention against glowing screens. Parks and public spaces might buzz with the sound of laughter and conversation. This renewed focus on human connection could strengthen relationships and foster a sense of community. It could remind us of the importance of genuine interaction in a world increasingly dominated by virtual connections. Section 10. Finding serenity in silence, a break from the digital noise. The disappearance of the internet would bring with it an unexpected benefit: silence. The constant barrage of notifications, updates, and digital noise would vanish. We would be free from the pressure to be constantly connected, to respond immediately, to be on all the time. This digital detox, albeit forced, could provide a much-needed respite. This newfound quietude could allow us to reconnect with ourselves, to engage in reflective thought, and to appreciate the simple beauty of the world around us. It could be a chance to find peace in the stillness. Section 11. A new dawn, rebuilding and rethinking our relationship with technology. The disappearance of the internet, while initially catastrophic, would not be the end. It would mark the beginning of a profound transformation. Humanity is resilient and adaptable. In the face of adversity, we come together, pooling our collective knowledge and skills to create solutions. Communities would unite, fostering a spirit of collaboration and innovation. We would rebuild differently. The absence of the internet would push us to rethink our infrastructure, to design systems that are more sustainable and less reliant on digital networks. Engineers and innovators would work tirelessly to create technologies that serve humanity. The focus would shift from convenience to meaningful progress, from efficiency to ethical considerations. This new world might be less convenient, but perhaps more human. We would rediscover the joys of face-to-face interactions and the importance of community. The experience would force us to confront our dependence on technology and seek a balance that respects both our digital and human needs.